I don't want to say, or I don't think, oh, I'm very special.
Yeah.
I don't even know the why. I don't even care
Mm.
about the why now.
Yeah.
But there's one thing which my dad has taught me, and I really stick by it. Like ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਚਾਹੇ ਮਾੜੇ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਾਲਕਾ ਔਕਾਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖੀ.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Desi Expats. The guest that we have on here today is a dear friend and already a big part of our podcast. It's Sajan, who's one of our co-hosts. I think people within our realm of acquaintance, हम कभी कभी भूल जाते हैं how spectacular they are. We always look for magic outside our circle or people that we don't personally know. But ever since the day that I've known Sajan, I think he never ceases to amaze me. His stories never cease to inspire both of us and the larger circle that we have. And I think he's one of the most spectacular people I've met in my life. His life can already be discerned as something that's extremely well lived. But let's chat to him a bit more to find out what's the force beneath the surface that keeps him going. और क्या हाल है साजन?
थैंक्स अ लॉट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. तो थोड़ा सा मेरे लिए ऑकवर्ड हो रहा है कि अपने पॉडकास्ट पे मैं ऐसे गेस्ट हूँ, बट ठीक है, मैं भी मजे लूँगा. थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर दैट इंट्रोडक्शन.
पहली बात तो बड़े प्यारे लग रहे हो एकदम रेयर एंड रोरिंग टाइगर जैसे.
आज मैं ऑफिस ऐसे गया था.
You are living the dream, bro.
वैसे ऑफिस में शॉर्ट्स में घूम रहा था, एंड so with of course my loud dressing sense
Yeah.
in Amazon office. तो ना लाइक लोगों को लगता है उन्हें पता नहीं चलता, बट है ना लोग मोड़ मोड़ के ऐसे थोड़ा दिखते हैं अच्छा ऐसे शॉर्ट्स में.
Yeah.
शॉर्ट्स में देन विद द लेग्स आल्सो
Yeah.
it adds to the flavor. So yeah, I sense that,
Yeah.
when people are like, oh.
Yeah.
So in fact, yesterday, so I had just I forgot my badge, and there's a place where you go and ask for a loaner badge, and
Right.
this lady asked me, "Oh, I saw you yesterday, and this was Sunday. I saw you yesterday. You were riding on your scooter." Like, perhaps she sees like thousands of people every day.
Yeah.
She issues badges, right? And she remembered me. Then I was like, "Oh, how many shorts pen rakhe the?"
It's hard to forget.
Hard to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but like, as you were doing the introduction, I was thinking, kafi dafa, like as part of like our show and just like these shows in general, you typically have an introduction where you're thoda sa bada chada ke and like you're exaggerating a bit. But while you were doing it, I was like, I felt like there could even be more. Like there was no exaggeration at all.
Yeah.
मैं तेरे से अभी ये बात कर रहा था कि like it's not been a very long time since we've
Mhm.
met. Like I think it's been like a couple of months, 3 months maybe, right? But there is no friend or family member of mine जिसका कभी मैंने तेरी बात ना की हो in terms of how much your story has inspired me and like made me reflect a lot. So I was really looking forward to this conversation क्योंकि मुझे था कि like I want other people to know the story and
Okay.
and the struggle and the resilience, right? Bro, तेरे जैसे बहुत कम लोग होते हैं. मैं बहुत कम इस तरह के लोगों से मिला हूँ. But I mean, we'll talk about all of this, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we start off with Jalandhar and like life as a boy and like growing up and like your city and the family and let's start with that and then
शुरू से शुरुआत
हाँ
करते
शुरू से शुरू करते हैं.
First of all, yeah, really, thanks. Of course, we are doing this together. For me, it's really a great honor. चाहे मेरा अब द पॉडकास्ट है.
To be on my own podcast.
No, but thank you. I think I've really I'm really very happy to have met both
Yeah.
of you, and thanks a lot for that. जालंधर यार, तुमने वो एकदम राइट सही कॉर्ड से स्टार्ट किया
Yeah.
है। एंड जस्ट सो यू नो पीपल, आई डिडंट नो द क्वेश्चंस, सो Jalandhar is this like sweet little small town in Punjab, and very normal desi family.
Yeah.
uh, uh, छत्तर पड़ने हैं, मिट्टियाँ खानी हैं, uh, typically, you know,
Yeah.
the stuff that you do as a small town boy. वो बंटे से खेलते थे.
Oh, हाँ.
I don't know if you have that in
Bante is a
Pakistan.
thing, yes.
हाँ,
Yes,
so
it is.
क्या मार्बल्स ना?
Marbles,
हाँ,
हाँ, हाँ,
marbles.
हाँ.
नहीं
नहीं
ये यार ये
हाँ.
जो बर्गर बच्चे हैं ना
बर्गर बच्चे नहीं. आई एम नॉट फ्रॉम अ हिंदी स्पीकिंग स्टेट, तो वी
हाँ.
हैव वर्ड्स फॉर इट इन ओरिया.
वो कंचे बोलते हैं हिंदी
कंजे
में.
या फिर
हाँ,
लाइक
yeah.
कुछ और ओरिया में कुछ और बोलते हैं.
Yeah.
देन मुझे वो पता है.
हाँ.
ऐसा नहीं कि मैंने खेला है कुछ भी.
अरे मिट्टी खा ली वो. इनफैक्ट अभी मैं इंडिया जा रहा हूँ तो समर टाइम, एंड वो बच्चों को क्या करते थे, मैंगो खिलाने के लिए एकदम वॉशरूम में बिठा देंगे, टब होगा,
Oh yes.
उसके अंदर आइस
Oh,
भरी
you guys
होगी.
have this as well.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
यार मतलब ये इतनी बड़ी कॉमन, दिस इज अ थिंग राइट. आई मीन
Yeah.
अब शायद इतना नहीं होता.
पर आम कहाँ रखते हैं, मतलब फ्रिज में?
लोहे की ना एक बाल्टी होती
हाँ,
है,
exactly.
बाल्टी में उसे
बर्फ डालते
टब
हैं, उसको
बोलते हैं.
ठंडा
I
करने
get
के
it.
लिए.
I'm like, आम फ्रिज में doesn't taste that nice. Like if you put it
हाँ.
in that ice bath, तब भी
हाँ,
वो.
और बच्चों को ऐसे कोई तमीज तो सिखाने का इतना बैंडविड्थ है नहीं वैसे. तो मतलब ऐसे एकदम कपड़े उपड़े उतार के पहले ही धोने का भी झंझट नहीं चाहिए. नंगे बच्चों को वॉशरूम में बिठाया, मैंगो खाओ बैठ के.
Amazing.
Joy of life.
Yeah.
So yeah, very desi household, and very simple. मेरे पापा का सब्जी मंडी का बिजनेस है. मम्मी she's a homemaker.
Yeah.
I have an elder brother, and now Bobby and niece as well.
Yeah.
Back then, as a kid, very simple household. In fact, so simple that even I was 9 when I lost my legs.
Yeah.
तो तभी किसी को इतना क्लू था नहीं कि अच्छा वो घर में डिसेबिलिटी आ गई है.
Or what to do next, right?
हाँ,
I
what
mean,
to do next.
yeah.
And अभी there's this era of political correctness, being
Yeah.
polite to people, being soft.
Yeah.
मेरे टाइम पे
Yeah.
सिलेबस नहीं पता था
Yeah.
कि क्या मैनेज करना है. एंड इन द हाइंडसाइट, हैट्स ऑफ टू द वे माय फैमिली मैनेज्ड
Yeah.
मी, माय डिसेबिलिटी. एंड मैं ये नहीं कह रहा मैंने कोई बहुत कुछ उखाड़ लिया लाइफ में, बट वट एवर लिटिल, कंसिडरिंग द प्लेस आई कम फ्रॉम,
Yeah.
whatever little I've done in my life, I think my family played a very, very big role in that. So yeah, I remember when I was young, and तो मेरा एक्सीडेंट कैसे होता है उसका तो बता दो, because that talks very highly of my childhood. So I was 9 years old, and मैं से घर से ट्यूशन पढ़ने गया था अगले दिन. दिस वाज संडे 3 मार्च 2002. एंड मैं घर से ट्यूशन पढ़ने गया संडे मॉर्निंग, और वो मेरा मंडे को कुछ एग्ज़ाम था एसएसटी का. वो पीरियोडिक टेस्ट होते थे उस टाइम पे. सो आई विविडली रिमेंबर दैट डे. एंड मेरे घर वाले कीर्तन पे गए हुए थे. पापा दिल्ली गए हुए थे, मम्मी दादी भैया कहीं कीर्तन पे गए हुए थे. एंड मैं ट्यूशन से, आई वाज अ गुड स्टूडेंट, एंड और मुझे ट्यूशन एकेडमिक्स बहुत वो लगता था कि क्या लेम है चीज़ें, मैं तो फटाफट कर लेता हूँ. तो मैं ट्यूशन से ऐसे जल्दी फ्री हो
Yeah.
गया. एंड द ट्यूशन वाली आंटी, शी सेंट मी होम. घर जाने की बजाय आई हिच हाइक्ड एंड आई वेंट टू पापाज शॉप. तो घर के थोड़ा पास में पापा की दुकान भी थी. तो दुकान पे कोई नहीं था, एंड आई थॉट ओके आई वुड गेट अ हेयर कट. वो मंडी में ही जैसे नाई वाई है तो उससे हेयर कट करा लेंगे. आई वाज जस्ट playing there, and खेलते खेलते I went upstairs, and it was sunny around like 10ish in the morning. And वहाँ पे मैं खेल रहा था, और वहाँ पे हाई पोटेंशियल वायर से बच्चे को क्या बताओ.
Yeah.
They were in my vicinity. I just went and I was playing, and I touched those wires mistakenly with my right hand. and immediately lost 2 fingers. They blasted off.
Oh my God.
And वहाँ से the sparkles they fell on
On your
this
legs, right?
this haystack.
Yeah.
So छत
हाँ.
पे ना
Oh,
वो
okay.
तोड़ी
तूरी, हाँ.
हाँ,
हाँ
हाँ.
तोड़ी रखी हुई
हाँ.
थी, तो उस पे these sparkles fell on haystack and it caught fire. So my body was both burning as well as it was getting electric shock. And ये सब हो रहा था and I had no clue. I was like, boss आज तो गए, and I'm
Oh my God.
so dead. So after a while, and I lost my conscious.
Yeah.
Hmm.
After a while, I woke up. I realized everything is on fire. My body is on fire. And मेरी पीठ से आग निकल रही है. Like it was literally like एकदम पूरा roast scene चल रहा है. And 9 years old, I was in so much pain,
Yeah.
and I was sure to die. And there's a thing that, you know, when you are at a cusp of
Yeah.
death, your life
Near-death
Flashes in
back.
front of
experience,
you, right?
हाँ.
I didn't have much of a life,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
9
you're
years
9 years
old.
old, right? Yeah.
So, but it did flash.
Yeah.
What was that? I want to know that.
It was all about my family. It was all
Yeah.
about, I had this very beautiful scene with my mom. मतलब कोई लार्ज मेमोरी नहीं
हाँ.
आती उस टाइम में. वेरी सिंपल थिंग कि मैं घर पे बैठा हूँ, ऐसे मेरी वो लेम सी आदत थी ऐसे बेड से टांग लटका के मम्मी को हक करके लेटने की. एंड दैट फ्लैश बैक एंड माय पापा's kiss flashed back. And in that moment I felt कि I cannot die. If I
Yeah.
die, what's gonna happen to these people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow I gathered the उसको courage बोलूँ, somewhere I gathered the courage. I have to survive this, and everything was on fire. I somehow rolled, and तो मेरी एक वो टी शर्ट थी एंड वो पूरी यहाँ से अंदर धंस गई बिकॉज दिस पार्ट
Yeah.
वाज एंटायरली ऑन फायर. in fact the body parts were on fire. मेरे को तो बहुत देर बाद हॉस्पिटल में जाके पता चला कि अच्छा यहाँ पे पट्टी लगी है. So these I didn't even remember then. It the pain was so intense.
Right.
I knew legs were gone. Something has happened because 9 साल के बच्चे का इतना पैर होता है, ठीक है. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी और शॉक के कारण मेरा इतना सा रह गया था.
Oh my God.
And I realized something
Yeah.
has happened. मम्मी से जूते बहुत पड़ने वाले हैं. And कल SST का टेस्ट है. I have to get back. And at the same time ये भी thought चल रहा है कि I cannot let my parents cry, so I don't have to die.
Hmm.
I don't know वो myopic था क्या था, but somehow I gathered the courage and I reached this parapet and वहाँ पे I screamed for help. Some people saw me, they came, बोरी बोरी डाली, लेके गए hospital. On this part many people call me brave. Sajan तू बहुत brave है. And for the longest time I questioned like ऐसा मैंने क्या किया था bravery वाला. I just did whatever it took to survive.
Yeah.
Honestly मुझे कोई खुद को boast नहीं करना है जाके कि ओ देखो मैं इतना बड़ा वो सब कर रहा हूँ. Nothing. I just simply tried to survive. But you know what? I was brave
Yeah.
because the bravery is when you are pushed against a wall. I had the option to die.
Yeah.
Simply put.
Yeah.
But brave is who does things for people he loves,
Yeah.
right? And उस time पे call it the love for my parents, call it my will to survive, and whatever it was in that moment, I just had वो एक split second का thought था कि बचना है नहीं बचना है, ऑप्शन है. I
Yeah.
just found a reason, and the reason was
Your parents.
my parents, my family, my
Yeah.
brother, because मेरा भाई shatter हो जाता.
Hmm.
You know, like, I mean, as you were saying that we spend a large part of our life focusing just on ourselves,
Yeah.
right? And the things that we want. But in moments like that, and I mean, obviously, it's a very rare moment. Not everyone experiences a near death moment and gets to talk about it. But in that moment, a lot of people think about, and it flashes in front of them, things that are important to them.
Yeah.
And I think, like you saw your family, a lot of people have that thing. And then you realize that actually I've been spending a lot of time focusing on what I want, and
Yeah.
maybe a large part of my life कि मेरी ये ख्वाहिशात हैं और मुझे ये चीज़ें चाहिए, मुझे ये जॉब चाहिए, मुझे ये इस तरह का सोशल सर्कल चाहिए, ये पॉपुलैरिटी चाहिए. But then when you're at that moment, जब आपको है कि अभी मेरी जिंदगी, like this a split second and I could just pass over to the next world, right?
Yeah.
You think about your family. And not just the fact that you'll miss them, but that they'll miss you.
Yes, you don't want to disappoint them.
Exactly. You
by
don't want
dying.
to see them in that pain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just a reminder to all of us as well to really think about what's important in life.
बहुत heavy हो गया यार ये.
Yeah.
I'm almost like dumbfounded for
Yeah.
a bit कि क्या आगे क्या पूछूं, but oh my god, I can't imagine at 9 years old
Yeah.
coming out of that like trauma and getting on with life. What was that process like? Like recuperation कैसा था?
So, like I said, अब वो एकदम देसी टब्बर. I love them a lot.
Yeah.
And अपनी फैमिली में थोड़ा कॉमेडी चलता है, लेग पुलिंग चलता है. So they didn't know exactly okay what to do, and they just tried to, you know, कोई आके जैसे लोग आके बोलेंगे कि हाय इदा हो गया बेचारा बेचारा बेचारा,
Yeah.
and somehow like everybody was just coming around and saying ओ इसको अब क्या करना है, इसका अब क्या करना है, right?
Yeah.
So as if there was some option, and
Yeah.
and my family, they really said like no to such people. And I clearly remember my mom fought with one of the rishtedar कि वो बेचारा नहीं है, and you know people normally say अच्छा मानो सदमा लग गया है, but she was damn right, मैं बेचारा नहीं हूँ.
Yeah.
And she said नहीं मेरा बच्चा बेचारा नहीं है, and she said that he will do wonders है जो भी है. And और मुझे एक झूठ बोल दिया कि तू गॉड का स्पेशल बच्चा है, because I kept asking why me, and my mom said कि ऐसे नहीं बोलते भाई, why me, तू तो गॉड का स्पेशल बच्चा है, and you should say try me, because nobody else could have
Oh wow.
Yeah.
nobody else could have
Yeah.
Lived through it.
lived
Yeah.
through this. You are a special child, and you are somebody who can really survive this. So that was a lie. I mean, or maybe it was not. So uh, that actually made me think that yes, okay, I'm special. I need to do something better with my life.
And also, like, I mean, early 2000s, I mean, I don't think ज़रूरी नहीं है कि people like thought ill of or in that sense. I feel like back home early 2000s, that's more of एक reaction. आपका first reaction इसी तरह निकलेगा अगर तुम कोई दूर के रिश्तेदार हो या कोई family friend और इस
Right.
तरह,
Agreed.
right? And people didn't know as well about the possibility that's out there.
Acceptance ही नहीं थी, possibility तो next stage होती है.
Yeah.
Acceptance, possibility एक बात है, information नहीं थी.
हाँ.
In fact, for the longest time, I didn't know I could get prosthetics.
Oh wow.
Lost my legs sitting at home, that's it.
Were you using a wheelchair like?
I got
as
a
a kid?
wheelchair much later. So
हाँ.
तब क्या होता था कि मैं ऐसे, I mean, I was pooping in bed, I was eating in
Yeah.
bed, I was horrible days. And
Yeah.
Mm.
you know, it's not disability that hits you mentally, it's that fact ki you are bound to bed,
Yeah.
you're bound in a room, and तुम्हें पानी भी चाहिए ना, चाहे घर वाले बहुत सपोर्टिव हैं, हर कोई बहुत सपोर्टिव है, बट मांगना पड़ता है।
Mm.
एंड एज अ किड दैट वाज सो हॉरिबल।
Mm.
और ऊपर से मुझे ये भी पता है कि स्कूल में सिलेबस चल रहा है आगे,
Mm.
and there was no communication with my friends. I had one friend, and in fact till date he's my best friend, Kuber. So he would come and see me, but school setting thi nahi. So that part hits you so badly.
Mm.
You are bound in a room, and I was not there for a month or two. I was like there for मैं ICU में 3-4 महीने रहा हूँ। मुझे 400 के आसपास ब्लड की बॉटल्स चढ़ी हैं।
Oh my
I
God.
was this happened in March. I remember I was in hospital for till like August September-ish, and उसके बाद भी like I've had like more than 20 surgeries and intermittently admit होता रहता था, and that part hits you really hard when you are bound. And I remember this one day when I had like slightly recovered body में थोड़ी जान आ रही थी, मैं ऐसा भी नहीं था कि I could lie down on a normal bed.
Yeah.
I needed a
Mm.
water bed because my
Mm.
body had lost all the flesh, all the
Mm.
I mean muscles, and
Yeah.
कुछ जान बची नहीं थी।
Yeah.
तो एक बार मुझे ऐसे था पानी चाहिए, तो my mom she said कि you can get it on your own. And I like कि how do I do it? I don't have legs. She said figure it out, हाथ तो
Mm.
हैं। So and she did that on purpose.
Mm.
And मैं ऐसे बेड से नीचे हैंड से हॉप किया,
Mm.
बहुत दिक्कत, नीचे पिलो रखा, किचन में गया, हॉप करके देखा ग्लास ऊपर है, वापस आया हॉप करके, ऐसे हॉप करके हाथों के बल करके।
Mm.
For the longest time I was very shy of admitting this,
Yeah.
but no more.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is my narrative and so be it.
Yeah.
मैं ऐसे वापस आया, पिल्लो लिया, फिर वापस गया, पिल्लो के ऊपर खड़ा होके आई फेच्ड वाटर। सिंपल थिंग, बट दैट वेरी एक्ट वाज सो लिबरेटिंग फॉर मी।
Mm.
मैंने खुद कुछ किया था
Mm.
in so many months,
Yeah.
and that's when I realized I can do something.
We'll come to we do want to talk about the resilience and the story of then, the various achievements you've had, including like going to one of the best colleges in India and everything. But there's one thing I want to ask, and that is, your mother has now seen you do all of these great things, right? What is her feeling about this, and what is your feeling when you look at her and see that feeling in her?
I think when she listen this, वो रोने बैठ जाएंगी।
तुम रो रहे हो already, Sajan. हम रो रहे हैं. I've barely known him like half a year,
Yeah.
not more than like not even a year, and
Yeah.
I feel like this is so.
Yeah.
It's incredible in the truest
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
मतलब क्या story है ये? This
Yeah.
is like stuff of biographies and biopics.
Yeah.
So funny, but yeah, if my mom sees that, she's definitely gonna cry. She's very happy for me.
Yeah.
Uh, she sh- she's happy for the fact I'm living independently.
Yeah.
ऑन एंड ऑफ वो माँ बाप की थोड़ी वरी रहती है, अरे वुंड तो नहीं हो गया लेग में।
हाँ.
They keep on asking, and I
Right.
try not to tell them.
Yeah.
I don't tell them. So wound तो नहीं हो गया, तूने खाना खाया है, तो ये
हाँ.
those little things. But at the same time, I think I'll give it to them. While they're worried about small things, they're not micromanaging my life, and they trust me with all the decisions I make in my
Yeah.
life. In fact, my when I had to move to London, my parents were like, बच्चा तेनों जो सही लगता तू कर।
Hmm.
And they trust me with the decisions I make in my life, be it my career, be it my education, and even starting this podcast, anything. they're just my cheerleaders and they just support me and वो ये भी नहीं है कि हाँ वो शाबाश है ये वो है
Hmm.
एटलीस्ट डैड का है ठीक है तेन जो सही लगा कर ले
Yeah, I think this is a very
Yeah.
fun anecdote. It's one of the first things I remember about Sajan. जो हम
Yeah.
पहली दफा मिले थे, you, me, Sahil, Sajan.
Yeah.
Thank God Sahil brought Sajan into our lives.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know Sajan
Yeah.
पहले. It was through a common friend. But I remember वो तुमने ये story सुनाई थी कि when you were little and like ये accident हो चुका था and your दादी had once told you कि क्या डिसेबिलिटी मतलब क्या पैर खराब है,
Hmm.
कुछ भी क्या
हाँ
बोल रहा है, मतलब कुछ नहीं खराब है, सब सही है।
हाँ
सब सही तो है मतलब क्या ही
Yeah.
प्रॉब्लम है लाइफ में? एंड लाइक नाउ यू कैन कॉल इट इनसेंसिटिव और यू कैन से अ मिलियन थिंग्स अबाउट पॉलिटिकली करेक्ट, इनकरेक्ट जो तुम बोल रहे हो। बट फॉर अ किड टू गेट दैट फियर आउट ऑफ योर हेड एंड आई थिंक योर फैमिली गिफ्टेड यू द गिफ्ट ऑफ एजेंसी
Yeah.
to be ki and that matlab logon ka people can be perfectly fine physically and they can lose agency mentally and then life is just a drag
oh
beyond that.
absolutely
Matlab that's where all like mental health issues crop up
Yeah.
and you feel like you don't have control over your life. Matlab that was invaluable. Your entire
Yeah.
family gifted you the gift of agency
yeah
after the incident and I think that was the seed ki itna sab kuch jo hua
hmm.
hai uske baad acha life mein.
So I'll tell you on that I was never made to feel at least by my family कि oh I have disability
Right.
छितर भी पड़े हैं मतलब हरकतें ऐसी की हैं तो छितर भी पड़े आई रिमेम्बर लाइक मैं और मेरा कजन हम क्रिकेट खेलते होते थे तो एंड मेरे वूंड होने ब्लीडिंग होनी जो मर्जी है बट बैटिंग तो पूरी होगी एंड थोड़ा एथिक्स का मामला था तो बैटिंग किया तो बॉलिंग भी मैं पूरी करूंगा आई वाज अ स्पिनर
Yeah.
तो एंड काफ़ी डिस्ट्रक्शन घर में फैला देते थे हम, तो दादी से छित्तर भी पड़ते थे वो नहीं कि सो एंड दिस वन थिंग आई वांट maybe send out to the world as well. uh yes, it's important to be kind. At the same time it's important to not rub it in that oh you are different. मेरे घर वालों ने मुझे वो फील नहीं होने दी कि अच्छा वो ये अगर एक घर पे डिसेबल्ड बच्चा है तो उसको छित्तर नहीं पड़ेंगे या उसको या इवन फॉर माय टीचर्स they were equally strict with me. It's just that they didn't get a lot out of me because I was very good academically.
Yeah.
तो उनको ज़्यादा मौका दिया नहीं मैंने एटलीस्ट आई वुड लाइक टू बिलीव सो
Yeah.
एंड इवन माई स्कूल वाज वेरी सपोर्टिव इन दैट सेंस ऑफ कोर्स किड्स वर किड्स एडल्ट्स ट्रीटेड मी लाइक normal and that framework I still have in mind. If when I go to the gym as well, मैंने पिछले हफ्ते डेडलिफ्ट ट्राई किए हैं। मैं कभी डेडलिफ्ट नहीं कर सकता बट अब मैं क्लास में घुस गया जहाँ पे
Yeah.
समहाउ इट टर्न्ड आउट कि अब डेडलिफ्ट करने हैं एंड मैं कहा यार अब तो बेइज्जती हो जानी है मेरी
अब तो करना ही
वो तो
पड़ेगा।
करना पड़ेगा। आई लीन्ड अगेंस्ट द वॉल समहाउ फिगर्ड समथिंग आउट एंड आई डिड डेडलिफ्ट इज्जत बचा ली अपनी एंड देन आई रियलाइज्ड ओह आई कैन डू डेडलिफ्ट सो सेम फ्रेमवर्क आई नेवर my family never considered me disabled. I myself don't consider myself as a person with disability. Yes, this is my reality. I need to do things differently, but then that's about it.
Yeah.
It pains,
Hmm.
but guess what? I have developed so much capacity to bear all the pain. You cut my hand, and I will be able to bear it right now. So, in fact, sometime back, I was in Delhi and I was at Viman's. So the
Women's,
Yeah,
most
okay,
people
so
know
I
what it
wouldn't
is,
know.
but it's one of the apex mental health research and hospital institutions in India. So unke psychologists are considered one of the best psychiatrists, psychologists in
so
India.
there I met this doctor and he did some assessment. I had like gone with a friend and I was just there casually एकदम मैं चिल मारा था तो
Like one does.
उसको बेचारे को
Women's.
मेंटल हेल्थ क्राइसिस चल रहे थे मैं चल मारा था but the doctor called me and he asked a few questions, called in turns. They asked me a few questions and they made this assessment that oh you never considered yourself disabled and that's the biggest
Yeah.
Hmm.
uh, strength, maybe, or that's how I'm able to cope
Yeah.
up with disability.
Right.
And उस time पे I was like, मैं okay. And then later I realized, oh yes, he was right.
Yeah.
And मेरे वुंड भी होता था, फिर भी मेरे को वो बकचोदी सूझ रही होती है कि
Yeah.
ये शरारत करनी है, ये यहाँ जाना है, क्रिकेट खेलना है, ये सब करना है. So manifestation
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe,
Bro,
but I didn't consider myself that.
also the power of the mind over like any limitation
Absolutely.
that anyone else thinks or you think you could have. Like I feel like if you're mentally strong enough and you don't let yourself believe that there is something wrong or there is something you can't do,
Hmm.
then and you have freedom over that. um I was reading a book recently. It's a very famous book. It's called Man's Search for Meaning.
Love it.
Viktor
Viktor
Frankl.
Franklin.
He was one of the guys who was during the Nazi Holocaust. He was part of the camp at Auschwitz, and he talked about it. Right? People like the world can take everything from you, right? I mean, he's in this concentration camp. He's like, I don't have my. They've taken my clothes away. They've taken my family away. They've taken everything away. They've taken my dignity away.
Hmm.
But one thing they can't take is my reaction to it.
Absolutely.
Right. So that is the one freedom that no one can take from you. Whatever happens to you in life, you will choose how you react to it.
Hmm.
Right.
So he says that between what happens to you
Yeah.
and how you react to it, there's
Yeah.
a space where you can choose
That's
how
a
to feel about it.
beautiful
That's the
sentence in the
best
book.
line in the book.
Yeah.
And
The moment of freedom, essentially.
That's
That you
your
know कि हाँ
freedom.
तुम आज़ाद हो.
Hmm.
ये सोच, ये अपना रिएक्शन के उसमें तुम आज़ाद हो सकते है तुम जेल में हो, एक कैदी हो,
Hmm.
लेकिन अपने रिएक्शन में तुम आज़ाद हो. कोई वो तुमसे नहीं ले सकता.
I kid you not. I get phantom attacks sometimes. So
Yeah.
phantom sensations होते हैं. Phantom sensations are basically, so मेरे leg नहीं है, लेकिन मुझे ऐसा फील होगा कि मेरे leg burn हो रहा है.
Hmm.
Leg में कोई pin prick कर रहा है. Imagine, and this is funny also because मैं इस meeting में बैठा हूँ, अचानक से I go like this.
Hmm.
Because this is not pain, this is a memory of pain.
Oh wow.
So sometimes it's for like few seconds, and when I had surgery, the entire night I would like get these phantom attacks,
Hmm.
and they are like पूरी रात ऐसा लगता रहेगा ओ मेरा leg burn हो रहा है etc. And on that thing, like that also made me very resilient because I knew हो कुछ नहीं रहा है. It's how
Hmm.
you're feeling. Can I
Yeah.
control that?
Hmm.
And call meditation helped me a lot. And I would simply look at the pain. The pain is happening. I would just look at it
Yeah.
in the eye.
Yeah.
कर ले जो करना है.
मतलब तुम you're not me essentially. That's what you're saying to the pain. तुम मैं नहीं हो, तुम सिर्फ एक sensation हो, which happens to be around me, right?
कुछ नहीं हुई.
Yeah, that's very profound.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like ये जो ऐसे motivational videos आते रहते हैं. I don't remember which one it was, but it's very interesting. I've heard it a couple of times. It says, "You are not the mind. You are awareness moving through the mind."
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like you said, कि if you can look pain in the eye and be like, पहले भी हो चुका है, आगे भी होगा. I've come out of it stronger. तो ऐसे तो हो नहीं सकता कि you are greater than me.
Yeah.
And that's so liberating.
It's very liberating. Yeah.
9 साल के बच्चे का कितना दिमाग होता है कुछ नहीं है. मतलब बेब्लेड पोकेमॉन ये सब चल रहा था माइंड में. जब मेरी ये
बाद में फिर चीजें आ जाने लग जाती हैं.
बाद में टॉयज चेंज.
Oh my God.
सो जब मेरा एम्पुटेशन हुआ था ना, so amputation it happened 21 days late after my accident. मुझे ओटी से निकाल के ऐसे रूम में लेके आए एंड आई वाजंट टोल्ड कि एम्पुटेशन हो रहा है. तो मेरे पेरेंट्स से कंसेंट वगैरह ले लिया था. सो आई हैड लाइक roughly 48 hours. So doctor said कि ये 48 से 72 घंटे में, so gangrene had started to spread across my body. I'm telling this anecdote for a reason. So gangrene had started to spread and I was on the verge of death and तो एक ही डिसीजन था, यहाँ legs chop कर दो या you have like what 2 days or 3 days and he's not going to survive. So my dad, of course, he didn't have much of an option. He imagine those signature
Yeah.
कितना डिफिकल्ट हुआ होगा. He did that and मुझे लेके गए बिना बताए, सर्जरी करके लेके आए. I woke up, I realized मेरे को ना ऐसे नीचे बहुत गर्मी लग रही है. तो I asked my mom कि ये कंबल वंबल हटाओ, मेरे को बहुत गर्मी लग रही है. And I woke up and I realized कि कुछ तो हुआ है. And she said नहीं, कुछ नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. And I
Oh my
insisted.
Hmm.
I insisted कि मुझे बहुत गर्मी लग रही है नीचे और मेरे को करंट लग रहे हैं नीचे. कंबल हटाओ. तो शी सेड ओके, प्रॉमिस मी वन थिंग, तो रोएगा नहीं. आई सेड ओके, मतलब कंबल हटाओ प्लीज. And I was in pain, whatever. She took off the blanket. I didn't understand हुआ क्या है. I just saw यहाँ तक. I was touching where the legs gone. I wanted to lift and see कि वो बेड में कुछ होल करके नीचे तो नहीं सपोर्ट के लिए कुछ रखा. And I couldn't even lift my thigh because I was in a very, very bad pain. But I promised I didn't cry. I didn't cry.
Oh wow.
And हाँ, उसके बाद जब ड्रेसिंग होती थी तब तो आधा हॉस्पिटल उठता था, बट ठीक है.
But did you question your mom या dad कि ये क्या हो गया?
As a kid, yes, I in my frustrations I questioned. In my frustrations I asked them कि मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हुआ, या why. अब मैं ये तो पूछना, you should have just let me die because I chose not to, at least back then. So so yeah, so you can decide how you want to feel. You can I mean, yes, shitty things happen with you. Yes, people go through unimaginable things, unimaginable pain. But you know what? You get to decide. You cannot control your past. You only have your future. Even future you can't control. Present में हो गया देखी जाएगी.
And I feel like whatever happens to you in life, this question that all of us ask at some point, right? I mean, obviously for us, it's for things that aren't as drastic. But वो why का जो answer होता है ना, वो आपको खुद ही देना पड़ता है. And you decide what the answer to that why is. Right? No one can come and tell you. But let's talk about the resilience. I mean, we spoke about the resilience. Let's talk about the achievements and the upward surge for Sajan. You went to some of the best colleges in India. I don't know much about what the best colleges are, but I've got Indian friends, so सब मुझे बताते रहते हैं कि अच्छा, like IIM is like one of the top business schools and so forth. So you went to an IIM for your business school.
He also went to SRCC, which is hard to get through.
Which is hard to get into.
So that was spectacular, back to back.
What was uni like? मतलब uni के एक अपने challenges होते हैं, आप नए लोगों से मिलते हो. Not your school friends anymore.
यार बड़ा से अप्पा हो गया था मेरे साथ.
अच्छा.
मैं 12th तक तो जलंधर पढ़ा हूँ. सिटी पब्लिक स्कूल के बाद सब लौंडे छोले कुलचे खाने जाते थे. लौंडो का ग्रुप था. And but I was very sure कि यार पढ़ाई नहीं की तो गए काम से. And honestly उस टाइम पे अगर I had not worked hard, I had not gone to SRCC, firstly I wouldn't be using these prosthetics. मैं जलंधर में होता and शायद मैं इंडिपेंडेंट उतना नहीं होता. तो खैर जो भी है वो हाइंडसाइट में था. बट हाँ, मैं एकदम नंबर आ गए, वर्कड हार्ड, नंबर आ गए. आई वेंट टू SRCC. तो जलंधर से उठ के गया दिल्ली. कल्चरल शॉक मेरी जो लगी थी. तो पहले तो एक तो इंडिपेंडेंटली रहना था, और ऊपर से मैं देख रहा हूँ कि कॉलेज की सब सोसाइटीज में ये DPS VPS के बच्चे जा रहे हैं.
भाई ये तो बड़ा ही पंगा था.
बहुत पंगा यार.
क्योंकि स्पेशली इफ यू नॉट फ्रॉम दिल्ली आल्सो तो थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, क्योंकि उनके ऑलरेडी गैंग्स हैं यार, उनके दोस्त हैं.
DPS is
Delhi Public School, it's like a school that has a lot of branches, but Delhi वाला is the OG one essentially. तो बहुत बच्चे आते थे यार. भाई उनके दोस्त भी है दिल्ली में, उनके ऐसे ऑलरेडी एमयूएंस कर रहे हैं,
They've got their
हाँ
circle now,
हाँ
essentially.
हाँ
ऑलरेडी डिबेट्स कर रहे हैं, और
हाँ
आके फिर से वही डिबेटिंग सोसाइटी बना रहे हैं। आई वाज लाइक हम क्यों बॉम्बे बॉम्बे से आए हैं? यहाँ तो कुछ नहीं हो पा रहा
मैं
है।
इतना फुद्दू था, मुझे पता ही नहीं था एमयूएन क्या होता है।
मुझे पता था बट लाइक नॉट नॉट एज वेल,
हाँ
और फिर तो यहाँ आके तो काफी अलग था। बट ये दिल्ली काफी इंटरेस्टिंग होता है सबके लिए, इर्रेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ जलंधर से आए हो कि मैं बॉम्बे से आई थी,
या
ऐसा कुछ वो नहीं था, शौक तो
But
लगता
for
है।
you, it was probably a bigger change, ना? मतलब वो cultural चीज भी बहुत different होगी. But maybe for you, at least culturally, I don't know actually. मतलब there's a
नहीं
lot of
नहीं
नहीं मैं
Punjabis in
नहीं,
बता,
Delhi.
सो
Yeah.
दिल्ली में ना ऐसा है कि दिल्ली इज मिक्स ऑफ लाइक
एवरीथिंग।
हाफ, वो थोड़ा पॉडकास्ट में बोलूंगा तो ब्लास्फेमी हो जाएगी, बट थोड़ा सा उनका, सो देर नॉट इतना पंजाबी जितना पंजाबी में था, लेट्स जस्ट
Yeah.
पुट इट दैट
Okay.
वेज। एंड तो उस टाइम पे ऐसा ज़माना था कि इफ़ आई वुड लिसन टू दिलजीत दोसांझ, या उस टाइम वो दीप था, ये हनी सिंह, सो आई यूज्ड टू लिसन टू ऑल दिस, और लोग कहते थे
Honey
लाइक
Singh was an era, bro.
ही वाज एन एरा,
It was an era.
माइट जस्ट स्टिल कम बैक, आई होप इट
Yeah.
डज, बट
हमारा ही era था क्या?
तो अ, तो मैं वो ये सुनता और मुझे बच्चे जज कर रहे हैं,
हाँ.
और मेरा किसी
हाँ
सोसाइटी में नहीं हो रहा, और यू मीट माय फ्रेंड्स नाउ एंड they will just make fun of that Sajan who came from Jalandhar to Delhi, because I was that lost कि यार
Yeah.
ये चल क्या रहा है। मैं जब तक जाके नोटिस बोर्ड पे पढ़ता हूँ तब तक सोसाइटी की लिस्ट आ रखी है, बच्चे सिलेक्ट हो गए, मेरे को पता भी नहीं, मैं जब तक
Yeah.
सोसाइटी का मेरे को पता
Yeah.
चलता है। एंड आई वाज वेरी फ्रस्ट्रेटेड यार, इतने तो कुछ हो नहीं रहा मेरा।
Yeah.
जलंधर में तो सब
Hmm.
क्लैपिंग कर रहे हैं, साजन
Yeah.
का एसआरसीसी हो गया, साजन
हाँ.
का एसआरसीसी में आके कुछ नहीं हो रहा, नंबर आ नहीं रहे हैं, और ऊपर से I was a little charmed by, of course, the crowd around me.
Oh, of course.
SRCC was 75% women crowd.
Oh wow. That's a very good ratio to
Yeah.
be around.
Really? I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
50-50 होगा,
नहीं नहीं
closer to.
नहीं, luckily they were like more women, so लकी का मैंने बड़ा कुछ कर लिया वैसे। So
नहीं किए तो आपने बहुत
हाँ.
बहुत
कुछ तो
कांड
किया
है।
होगा.
तो मैं ना ऐसे खुन्नस में आ गया, मैं कहा यार ये तो नहीं हो रहा है, आई एम नॉट गेटिंग थ्रू एनी सोसाइटी।
Well, is society like a thing back in India?
It
Like
was
मतलब,
yeah, and
it's like the in crowd. Like if you're in one of the good
Kind of,
societies,
and it's
like
like a prestige point कि
prestige
Okay.
point,
society वो
and
कर ली है।
academically थोड़ा सा आई वाज इन डोल्ड्रम्स एज एन एवरेज था, एंड वहाँ पे आई वाज competing with all India toppers यार।
exactly. मतलब
हाँ,
अच्छी university
सबके
में
95%
everyone's smart.
प्लस हैं। हाँ,
Like everyone's smart. Yeah.
एकेडमिकली मुझे पता था कि ब्रो नो एरिया, दिस इज
हाँ.
नॉट माई एरिया, तो इसीए करेंगे, एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज में कुछ करेंगे। वहाँ रियलाइज की कुछ वैसे ही नहीं हो रहा है। एंड सो इवेंचुअली व्हाट हैपेंड, आई खुन्नस में आ गया, क्रिएटेड माई ओन सोसाइटी कि entrepreneur बनेंगे,
Amazing.
खुद का
Yeah.
सोसाइटी में। आई क्रिएटेड D Street SRCC, दैट club still exists today, and
What was it about?
it's about investments and finance club.
Oh,
So yeah, and
finance वाले boys है तो एक time पे.
yeah, so it worked out well.
No, that's great. That's great. What was it like then moving from वो university वाली सारी चीज, and so this was SRCC. IIM, I assume it was a bit more.
Rigorous.
हाँ,
It
I
was
can
it
imagine.
was rigorous, and so IIM में क्या हुआ था कि मेरा तो उस टाइम पे ना इट वाज टू रिगरस, तो मेरी लेग में इंजरीज भी हो जाती थी बहुत ज़्यादा, एसआरसीसी में भी हो जाती थी, बट आई केप्ट ऑन इग्नोरिंग दोस,
Yeah.
एंड आई वाज लाइक यार पढ़ना किसको है, वो तो ठीक है, पढ़ाई वढ़ाई भी चल रही थी, बट आई हैड टू सोशलाइज, लाइक नहीं यार,
Yeah.
ये बंदे का बर्थडे है, यहाँ पे भी जाना है, ये क्लास,
बंदी की भी हो सकती है वैसे.
I am not so much.
अच्छा.
Like I just had Londa group, and like
IIM में?
हाँ, and it was like most amazing people.
Yeah.
तो and yeah, it was fun. मैंने बहुत सारी parties वगैरह में भी जाना, socialize भी करना, leg में wound है, कुछ नहीं है, पट्टी लगाओ, आगे बढ़ो, पटल, and it was rigorous. But luckily I interned at G, and eventually like final placements happened at Flipkart, and eventually moved to Amazon. But
Yeah.
yeah, I am was अब हुआ ये था कि वो जो वुंड्स वगैरह हो रहे थे, आई केप्ट ऑन इग्नोरिंग दोस
Yeah.
एंड आई वाज एकदम फुल बल्ले बल्ले एंड इवेंचुअली क्या हुआ कि 2016 में फ्लिपकार्ट हायरिंग गॉट डिलेड, इट गॉट पुश्ड फ्रॉम जून टिल दिसंबर, जून से दिसंबर हो गया एंड देन आई हैड सम टाइम, आई वाज लुकिंग फॉर जॉब्स एंड तो एंड मैंने अपना डॉक्टर को भी दिखाया दिखाया था कि ऐसे मेरे लेग में वुंड हो रहे हैं, तो ही सेड कि तुम्हारा फ्री फ्लैप सर्जरी करना पड़ेगा. सो फ्री फ्लैप सर्जरी क्या होता है, दे टेक वन मसल ऑफ योर बॉडी, पुट इट इन अनदर प्लेस for cushioning,
Yeah.
and in that process they also realized that my bone had like tumor developing, so cavities थे उससे
Shit.
tumor
Yeah.
Oh.
हो रहा था. Special child.
Yeah.
I was so lucky.
Hmm.
अगर मैं मतलब and during the process like surgery चल रही है तो पता चला अच्छा ये भी है. Imagine.
If you kept ignoring it, like,
नहीं
हाँ
अगर फ्लिपकार्ट शुरू हो जाता
हाँ.
और तुम
हाँ
तो तू फिर और इग्नोर करता.
because
exactly.
because I know where he's coming from क्योंकि in these colleges in India it's always a thing कि मतलब you've made it, मतलब college में
Yeah.
you've made it, you get the placement, you've made it, and then suddenly it's like oh 6 महीना delay कर देते हैं and suddenly it's a blow to your ego but also everything. It's like life तो बहुत बढ़िया चल रही थी, ये क्या 6 महीने क्या delay कर दिया है इन्होंने.
Exactly. And worst part was कि I was reaching out to my network, reaching out to people. Job कहीं लग नहीं रही है. I was SRCC, I am Bangalore graduate, yet I was not getting job from anywhere. And
What year was this?
2016.
Okay, so in an economy that's booming, essentially.
Yeah, and I got some offer from HDFC, like an offer that I wouldn't accept.
Yeah.
And I had this debt, like education loan था, but and I was very sure कि मुझे खुद manage करना है सब. तो जब ये हुआ तो सर्जरी वर्जरी उसके बाद सडनली द कॉस्ट
Yeah.
दे शॉट अप एंड इवन माय देन डॉक्टर सेड कि जो तुम प्रोस्थेटिक्स यूज कर रहे हो दे आर नॉट कंपैटिबल, यू नीड टू चेंज योर प्रोस्थेटिक्स एंड यू नीड टू गेट अ माइक्रो प्रोसेसर नी विच इज मोर कंफर्टेबल एंड हाइड्रोलिक्स से नहीं हो, सो देयर डू डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ नीज. तो जब and when I checked, the cost was up to like 30 lakhs and plus 10 lakh for my surgery. I was in like deep shit. ऊपर से जॉब लग नहीं रही है तुम्हारी, तुम्हारा एजुकेशन लोन है. After living a wonderful life of Delhi, Bangalore, you're back home in bed, and I was also going through a breakup then.
Yeah.
My back was again like against the wall. I realized कि bro ये तो नहीं हो रहा है. And like what do I do? I was so lost, and I had decided कि ठीक है job करनी है. I'll go to office on a wheelchair. Screw it. I didn't even like tell my parents कि ये सब चल रहा है. And मैंने ये बोल दिया कि अभी like कुछ टाइम नहीं पहननी है तो मैं ऑफिस व्हीलचेयर पे जाऊंगा and stuff. And because see, I come from a middle class family, and disability, yes, it is a difficult affair in India, anywhere in the world, mentally and physically, but especially in India, you have bills to pay. Disability is a costly affair. So not everybody has 30 lakh ka expenditure every like 4-5 years, right? And my dad, I don't know how he managed that. You don't have like this amount of cash like ready anytime, right? So so when this happened, I was like कि ठीक है और मैं office wheelchair पे जाऊंगा. And I was talking to my professor that this happened, but it's okay. I'm coming to Bangalore and I'll see you, but I'll be on wheelchair. I'm going to start office on wheelchair.
Yeah.
I said, how are you going to manage? Because Bangalore की roads accessible तो है नहीं. Then telling her नहीं, I'll see to it. And she said, how much is the cost? I said 30 lakhs. And okay, we'll figure something else. We will something out. We'll figure something out. And एक हफ्ते बाद मेरे अकाउंट में 24 lakhs ट्रांसफर होते हैं. I was shocked. how that happened? My alumni network contributed.
This is the
Peop
IIM network.
yes,
Yeah.
people from my batch जिनसे शायद मैंने इतनी बात भी नहीं की होगी, जिनसे मैंने शायद कभी अ, उनको थैंक यू नहीं बोला होगा या कभी क्लास में जैसे इतना मिला नहीं होगा, दोज़ पीपल हेल्प्ड मी आउट
Mm.
एंड I cannot even tell you that changed my life so much.
Mm.
Magic happens.
Yeah.
That was my magic.
Mm.
I mean, that was God's magic that happened to me. And but I had decided that, yes, people helped me, but I need to like return this.
Mm.
Yeah.
I used that money. My legs got funded, and I started going to office. Good part is जो मेरी पुरानी legs थी उससे I used to like I could barely wear it for like 6, 7, 8 hours and I would
Mm.
like get wounds.
Mm.
But then I got new prosthetics and I could wear it for like 16, 18 hours.
Mm.
And when I got to Flipkart in December, right, I was so sure मुझे किसी ने नौकरी नहीं दी है. I have a huge debt to pay. I have to manage. I've gotten new legs
Mm.
and I'm here now living independently. I have to manage it, come whatever may.
Mm.
मैंने अली समीक्षा जितनी जान से काम किया था ना उस टाइम
Hmm.
पे, लाइक आई वाज लाइक कि one job and I'm going to just give it my best shot. It happened. It rewarded me as well.
Mm.
I grew quickly and
Hmm.
I still remember my Flipkart stint. It was amazing and good part. I like returned money to many
Yeah.
people and then I met somebody. That person like wants to stay anonymous, but he was a top shot in India VC domain.
Mm.
So he said that you don't need to return this money. Rather create a ripple effect, right, and help somebody else out. And you felt the magic, make it magical for somebody else. And he advised me that it's unfair that people in India have to pay so much
Hmm.
for their disability, and it's just I have to pay a huge cost just to be able to stand and
Mm.
do my
Yeah.
job, and it's unfair. So he suggested that explore an international stint maybe, and then
Hmm.
once you're sorted, you can always come back. And so I always
Mm.
wanted to become an entrepreneur or whatever, but this route I chose business guidance. So as a ripple effect, I मैंने क्या मैं बहुत कुछ किया, but I sponsored education of a few kids. I sponsored prosthetics of a bunch of folks. And in fact, one of the kid, he's now a software developer. He
Yeah.
has
Oh,
grown so
wow.
much. It makes
Hmm.
me so happy. Create a ripple effect. That's my message.
Sajan, thoda sa, like, it's a bit, I don't know if it's a bit weird to ask this, but do you think doing all of that helps you answer the why?
Why of what?
Why
Well,
me?
Why me?
Let's believe in the lie.
Yeah. 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 Because I feel like if you weren't going through the tumor and you didn't discover that, you didn't go through this entire exercise, maybe those kids' education would never be funded. Maybe those people
Maybe.
wouldn't get prosthetics, right? I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know, right? But at least a pain that you felt led to you making an effort for yourself and then for others as well,
Mm.
right? So I don't know. Maybe there is some type of why, or at least you can think about it
I
in
don't
a
know.
different way.
I don't want to say, or I don't think, oh, I'm very special.
Yeah.
I don't even know the why. I don't even care
Mm.
about the why now.
Yeah.
But there's one thing which
Mm.
my dad has taught me, and I really stick by it.
Mm.
Like पंजाबी कहते चंगे चाहे माड़े हालात विच रखी इनू मेरे माल का औकात विच रखी
Mm.
विच मीन्स अच्छे या बुरे जैसे मर्जी हालात में रखना
Mm.
आई डील विद इट लेकिन मुझे मेरी औकात में रखना
Mm.
सो I have told my story, I've narrated my story, but So this, I don't want to like say, oh, look at me, I'm so special.
Yeah.
No, this is just my narrative. And
Yeah.
if it helps you,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, that's amazing. What was moving to London like?
And I
More
also
exciting things.
sorry, I was saying
Yeah.
I also know ki like being a person with disability sort of played into that decision. कि remember हम एक बार बात कर रहे थे, तुम यूएस का भी सोच रहे थे, दुबई मीना का
Yeah.
सोच रहे थे, and then you ended up at London. So what was that decision making
So
process like?
I was same 2016 that happened, and then 4 or 5 years, that's the span of my prosthetics. So I had to like get it changed again, and I realized it's not just worth my if I like I returned all that money and whatever, and now again I go through that process again, and moreover there's some better access to technology that was here. So it was, so one was I wanted to get international exposure. My employer allows me to do that, so why not?
Right.
Right. uh, and second rational was, okay, this helps me sort, at least helps me stay mentally free. Okay, if something happens to my legs here, NHS covers that, and that's the best part of it. So yeah, so let's move to London, and US, Dubai, other places don't really offer that. So I thought, okay, let's try it out, and uh, let me explore what's there. So yeah, one angle was my legs, and the second angle was, okay, get international exposure, see what it is like.
Actually, so not only have you gone to the best colleges in India, and then you got these very nice jobs as well. One thing that we've got something in common is the working out part.
Oh
And
yes.
you're very much into fitness. We're going to the same gym as well.
It's a very expensive gym in London.
It's worth it. It's worth every penny.
Oh yes.
For those of you in London, check out Third Space, one of the best gyms. This is some free advertisement for those folks. But you're also training people with disabilities, or sort of guiding them.
Yeah.
You've been training for the London Marathon. You've done half marathons in India, I
Yeah.
believe. What got you into the fitness thing?
Yeah, breakup.
Yeah, दिल टूटना चाहिए body बनने
So
के लिए,
actually,
नहीं तो नहीं।
That's very true.
Not necessarily. I mean, मेरे case में हुआ था. There are two things. One was, of course, I went through a breakup, and that was
Women
because
just
I
inspire
had.
you to do amazing things, don't they?
Yeah. So एक तो I had gone through a breakup, and it was because I had disability. Like,
Yeah.
oh come on, like seriously. And
Oh, the breakup was because you had disability.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
I think the person was amazing, but
Yeah.
her parents like oh not
Yeah.
gonna happen, so stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
life happened.
Yeah.
And to prove somebody wrong that hey, I don't have a problem, I ran my first 5K. मैं चौड़ में आके घर आके कॉल कर रहा हूँ, have you ever like run a 5K? And no, like I did it, so don't tell me like I have problem, you have
Oh,
problem.
wow. What a slap in the face.
ठीक है, मतलब in the hindsight maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it did hurt.
Yeah.
Because I always thought that I was doing my best, and somebody told me and oh, despite you doing your best, this is not good enough. And वहाँ पे मेरा syllabus खत्म हो गया, like okay, now what?
Yeah.
Why are people telling me I don't deserve it? So anyway, so that happened, and then I was at I was at Golden Temple.
Yeah.
2016ish, 2016 2017ish, and I वहाँ पे परिक्रमा करके ना जब बाहर आते हैं, I was exasperating. My legs were paining. I was huffing and puffing, and वो कह लो कि रब्बो ही या जैसे मर्जी, मेरे को I just felt this कि I cannot be this guy. I'm what 22 23,
Yeah.
and I cannot live a life like this. एंड एट द सेम टाइम एक जहाँ से मैंने लेग लिया था तो उन्होंने मुझे किसी के घर भेजा था कि एक अंकल को मोटिवेट करना है जाके। तो मैं ऐसे शॉर्ट्स शॉर्ट्स पहन के लेग्स पहन के चला गया। I realized he was in bed and barely could get up. He had amputation because of his diabetes and हिला नहीं जा रहा है. And of course, I did my best to motivate him. But at the same time, I realized, you know what? Old age is not going to be like this for me.
Hmm.
Old age hits you very, very hard if you're a person with
Yeah.
disability.
Hmm.
And so those few shocks happen. And तो मैं स्टार्टिंग में क्या किया, चलो जी बैंड घर बैठ के बैंड पुल अप कर बैंड पुल अप कर लिए, लेग स्ट्रेचेस कर लिए. सो द slowly it developed for me. Then I remember I was in Bangalore and I went to Cult. So Cult is a very big gymming chain in India. And वहाँ पे मैं गया and I asked them that I need some how do I enroll for classes, and they said that it's difficult because you we like you need special care and somebody really needs it. And uh, then they connected me to their head coach, who's like Rishabh Telang. So Rishabh and Ritesh Telang, they're two amazing brothers. They started Cult, which got acquired by CureFit. So like they and then it became Cult Fit and all.
Okay.
So so Cult. So Rishabh met me and he said that okay, you know, I'll have to personally train you. And I realized I यार afford तो नहीं कर पाऊंगा, तो ऋतिक रोशन को ट्रेन नहीं करता मैं. मतलब कितने पिज्जा कितने परांठा. But oh man, he changed my life. He started training me, and I learned about fitness from him, and then eventually from Veera and Sid in Jalandhar. They're my coaches. So yeah, the broad point being, not all the equipment fit me, not and the regular workout regime doesn't work for me. But from my coaches, I learned that I need to create my own workouts. My workouts have to be adaptive in nature. And then I realized, oh, many people with disabilities don't work out because
They can't.
Or they think they
उन्हें
can't
एक
at
cookie
least.
cutter solution बेचा जा रहा है.
Exactly.
But for them, it has to be adaptive. It has to be personalized. So I helped a few folks just understand the mental model around it, help them design their workouts, and honestly, for me, fitness is about the joy of movement. Many people with disabilities are told it's okay if you don't,
If you can't
if you
move.
can't move,
Yeah.
or ठीक है तुम थोड़ा चल लिए बहुत है.
हाँ.
नहीं भाई, you need to meet your you need to burn your calories, not necessarily to look appealing, whatever that narrative is, but there is a joy in movement.
And there's a quality of life thing as well.
Yes.
Right? Matlab
Yeah.
aap how you, not just the fact that you are able to move, but how are you able to move? Are you able to like do specific things that maybe
you need your joints to be strong enough to be able to lift yourself.
Exactly.
यार मुझे व्हीलचेयर से बेड पे हॉप करना होता है. My wrists need to be very very strong, and I need to have very strong shoulders. मैं मतलब 17.5 किलो का डंबल ऐसे स्नैच मार लेता हूँ 10 reps, कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं है. And that's because I developed those capabilities.
And if you're doing a marathon with the wheelchair, you need strength all across here.
Absolutely.
And especially in your rotator cuff, shoulders,
Exactly.
all of that.
So fitness is your personalized narrative. Don't let anybody come and tell you, oh, if you have abs, you are fit. Oh, if you look appealing, you're fit. I know so many athletes who have good looking bodies, for sure. Maybe that's their goal. Nothing's wrong with that. But then there are other people who want the ability to lift. And so one thing, fitness is it's a highly personalized narrative. So you should understand what fitness means for you, because as humans also, we come from different backgrounds, different geographical areas, our needs are different. Understand that. Secondly, I would say, when you do things that you thought ye to hoga nahi, it changes you. So for me, fitness was about possibilities.
Yeah.
ओ मैं ये भी कर सकता हूँ, मैं पुल अप भी मार सकता हूँ,
And also the progress, like
the
It's
progress,
so
आपसे
the
apparent.
grind.
the progress is like, because it's numbers and you
Exactly.
see it, right? अच्छा मैं इसके पहले 6 rep मार सकता था, अब 7 मार रहा हूँ. And it's a keystone. It translates into other areas of your life. Like, because you see improvement in one area because you worked hard for those particular,
Yeah.
like for that movement to get better.
Yeah.
And then you realize, okay, what if I carry over that mindset
To other
to
things.
other areas in my life?
Yeah, 100%.
कि हाँ, like, let me structure that.
Hmm.
And I improve whatever 1% in different, like whether that's work, whether that's your ability to speak with other people in community, which is a very important skill.
Yeah.
If you take that mindset of progressive overload, is a term
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we
yeah.
use, right?
In fitness, yeah.
In fitness, in everything in your life.
Yeah.
It's profound.
Yeah.
It is.
And
It
just
is.
seeing that progress is a real shot in the arm. Like, it feels good.
Absolutely. So that regular progress that you see, and of course it gets reflected with my lot of gym selfies as well.
Yeah.
But एक just simple चीज है. अब Thursdays I spend a lot of time on mobility, right, or even balance. So Ali, you wouldn't, or Samiksha, you wouldn't spend time on balancing.
Yeah.
I need to.
Right.
अब जैसे मेरे bilateral, I'm a bilateral amputee, so bending is a very difficult task for me. So picking things from the floor, it's a very difficult task for me. I lose my balance or I need some support. But sometimes it happens, तुम सड़क पे चल रहे हो, ओ चाबी नीचे गिर गया, वो उठानी है. तो पहले तो मैं इधर उधर देखता यार मैं किसको पकड़ूं. फिर what would happen? I would myself fall, pick the key, and then I would get up. And so then of course even my workouts, I added the balance angle to it. So Veera really helped me in that. Veera is my coach. So I would just put something on the floor and then slowly just bend my knee, lift it, try to find the balance. I burnt less calories that day, but fine, I built my balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fitness is a very, very personal thing.
Yeah.
Listen to yourself.
I think we're at time.
Yeah, we're at time.
But before
like,
we wrap up,
yeah.
I don't know if you want to ask
Yeah,
something.
I was
Bernie.
just gonna say, I mean, yeah, this is one of, like, I know, like, we're doing this podcast, or ये मतलब एक सब, like, this is a show that we're doing, but honestly this is one of the most profound conversations शायद मैंने मेरे पूरी जिंदगी में इतनी मतलब impacting conversation ना की हो किसी के साथ. तेरे साथ मैंने पहले भी की थी,
हाँ.
but आज भी बहुत बहुत impactful conversation थी.
I agree.
तो
I'm
like,
not kidding. That day जब
yeah.
हम dinner कर रहे थे
Yeah.
and we went to have chai and stuff, like वो रात जब मैं घर गई, I was just like, भाई,
Yeah.
like something transpired that day that I can't put
Transpired,
my finger
I
on.
felt like something transformed.
Yeah, something
inside
कुछ
me.
अंदर से कुछ
Yeah.
हुआ. Like
हाँ.
I heard your story for the
तो-
first time. Yours also, like all of us shared. I was like I am in the company of greatness.
Yeah.
And
मतलब,
like it was just
you know,
something
you
else.
keep saying कि मतलब there's nothing special, और मतलब मैंने कुछ ऐसा वैसा नहीं किया. Bro, like, I'm not just saying this because you're my friend, and like obviously, like, और सब तुझे कहते भी होंगे कि यार तूने तेरी बड़ी कहानी है, तेरी story and all of that. You're special, okay, because of what you've done, but also because of the effect you have on other people.
Yeah.
Like, जिस तरह तू अभी मेरे पे, the effect you've had on me just through this conversation. That's what really makes you special.
Yeah.
It's very rare. It's very rare. So I'm very lucky to have you as a friend. Really.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
एक सवाल जाते जाते जैसे पूछना है मैंने. You go back a few years, ठीक है? Sajan is 21, right? 21, 22. And you're Sajan now. Like, you've been through all, like, the IIM, SRCC, job लगवाई, right? Gym कर रहा है, marathons किए हैं. तू एक पार्टी में मिला है 21 साल के साजन से, right? He's got his new prosthetic legs, and there's still things he wants to do. What would you tell him?
I would tell him, listen to your gut.
Yeah.
Stay strong, and there will come moments in your life you will doubt everything.
Yeah.
People around you will tell you, oh, you got admission because you have this disability thing and whatever. Screw them. Just stay true to stay true to your self. Listen to your gut. Good things will happen to you. uh, I would I would tell him to be the fearless kid you always were.
Hmm.
You went and did things, took the pain, took a lot of things on your body, yet you did things because you loved them.
Hmm.
That framework should continue.
Yeah.
That's it.
Love it.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
I
I
know.
will. It wasn't just for Sajan who's 21 years old. I'll remember all of this as well.
It was for Samiksha
Yeah.
was 27 as well. It was not even 21-year-old Samiksha. But yeah, thank you so much. I
Thank
think
you.
this was the one of the best episodes we've done so far.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Thank you.